Welcome to the 10 Minutes Gold Mine, where every book gives you a treasure of knowledge in just 10 minutes. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Introduction. In The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz offers a clear and practical guide to achieving personal freedom and lasting happiness. Drawing on the wisdom of the ancient Toltec culture, Ruiz provides readers with four simple yet powerful agreements that can transform the way they live and interact with the world. These agreements serve as a foundation for breaking free from the limiting beliefs and societal pressures that often hinder personal growth. By practicing these four commitments, individuals can let go of self-judgment, increase their emotional resilience, and live with greater joy and authenticity. Part 1. Be impeccable with your word. The first agreement, be impeccable with your word, serves as the cornerstone of all the other agreements. This principle encourages you to use your words wisely and responsibly, as your words have the power to create or destroy. Ruiz explains that impeccable comes from the Latin word pecca, meaning sin, and the prefix im, meaning without. So, to be impeccable means to be without sin, and, in this case, to speak in alignment with your highest truth, free from falsehood and harm. When we speak, we have the ability to either uplift or harm those around us. Words have the power to affect both our own reality and the reality of others, so it's essential to be mindful of the language we use. This includes not only what we say but also how we say it. Speaking negatively, gossiping, or using words to manipulate others can have lasting consequences. Instead, when you are impeccable with your word, you choose to speak truthfully, kindly, and with integrity. Ruiz suggests that we often unknowingly harm ourselves by the words we use. We may engage in negative self-talk or criticize ourselves harshly, reinforcing limiting beliefs. By changing the way we speak to ourselves and others, we begin to create a more positive and empowering reality. Practical tip: take a moment before speaking. Ask yourself, is this true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Doing so will help you become more intentional in your communication, leading to healthier relationships and a clearer sense of self. Part 2. Don't take anything personally. The second agreement, don't take anything personally, is about learning to detach from the opinions and actions of others. One of the most common traps people fall into is taking things personally, when someone criticizes us, or when we feel rejected or hurt by others' actions. Ruiz argues that when we take things personally, we are allowing others to dictate our emotional state and sense of self-worth. People's behavior is often a reflection of their own experiences, beliefs, and struggles, and it has nothing to do with you personally. When someone criticizes you or acts in a way that seems hurtful, it is often more about their own internal world than about who you are. By internalizing others' opinions and actions, we give away our power and allow their judgments to control our emotions. Ruiz emphasizes that detaching from the personal feelings we attach to others' actions is key to maintaining emotional peace. When we don't take things personally, we stop reacting defensively or emotionally, which allows us to respond with clarity and understanding. It also frees us from the need for external validation, empowering us to remain true to ourselves. Practical tip: the next time someone criticizes you or says something hurtful, take a deep breath and remind yourself that it's not about you. Ask yourself, what's really going on for them? By shifting your perspective, you can detach from the emotional charge and avoid taking things personally. Part 3. Don't make assumptions. The third agreement, don't make assumptions, focuses on the misunderstandings and false beliefs that arise from making assumptions about others, situations, and even ourselves. Ruiz explains that we often create stories in our minds about what's going on around us, based on incomplete information or our past experiences. These assumptions lead to confusion, conflict, and unnecessary suffering. Making assumptions can be particularly dangerous because it often leads to misunderstandings. For example, you might assume someone is upset with you without actually asking them, and then act based on that assumption, which may not be true at all. These mental projections can create unnecessary anxiety and tension, both in your mind and in your relationships. To overcome this tendency, Ruiz encourages us to ask questions and communicate openly, rather than assuming we know what others are thinking or feeling. By replacing assumptions with curiosity, you create the space for clarity and deeper understanding. Open and honest communication helps us avoid misunderstandings and ensures that we see people and situations for what they truly are, rather than through the lens of our own fears or insecurities. Practical tip: before jumping to conclusions, ask for clarification. Instead of assuming what someone means, ask them directly. This small shift can prevent unnecessary misunderstandings and improve your relationships. Part 4. Always do your best. The fourth agreement, always do your best, is about cultivating a mindset of effort and persistence. Ruiz clarifies that this agreement is not about striving for perfection, but rather about putting forth the best effort you are capable of in any given moment. By focusing on doing your best, you release the pressure of unrealistic expectations and learn to appreciate the process, regardless of the outcome. When you commit to always doing your best, you let go of the fear of failure or making mistakes. Your best may look different from day to day depending on your circumstances. Perhaps you're feeling exhausted or distracted on one day, or energized and focused on another. Ruiz acknowledges that your best will change depending on external factors, but the key is to stay committed to doing your best regardless of the situation. By practicing this agreement, you free yourself from self-judgment and perfectionism. Instead of focusing on the outcome, you learn to appreciate the effort and the progress you make along the way. When you do your best, you feel proud of the work you put into life, knowing that you gave it your all. Practical tip: at the end of each day, reflect on how you showed up and the effort you put into everything you did. Celebrate the commitment to doing your best, no matter the results. This helps cultivate a growth mindset and reduces stress. Conclusion: to sum it up, the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz provides a powerful spiritual framework for living a life of authenticity, peace, and freedom. By practicing these four agreements, being impeccable with your word, not taking anything personally, not making assumptions, and always doing your best, you can begin to break free from the limiting beliefs and patterns that no longer serve you. These simple yet transformative principles guide you toward a more joyful and empowered way of living. By integrating these agreements into your daily life, you open the door to a world where you no longer feel enslaved by the expectations of others or trapped in negative patterns. With each step toward personal freedom, you experience a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. But remember, these agreements are not about perfection, they're about progress. Each day is an opportunity to practice and evolve. How can you start practicing these agreements today? What would happen if you let go of self-judgment and began using your words with integrity? How might your relationships improve if you stopped taking things personally and communicated openly? Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. That's it for today's 10 Minutes Gold Mine. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep mining for more golden knowledge. See you in the next one.